First up, resistivity. Okay, the resistivity, since we know that the factors on which the resistance of the wire depends are, first one is the length of the wire. By increasing or decreasing the length of the wire, we can change the resistance of the wire. It is very easy to understand that this is a wire and we are going to increase the length of the wire. So where the obstacle will be brittle, in this one or this one? Obviously having a larger length. So it means the resistance is proportional to the length of the wire and depends on area of cross section. By increasing the area of cross section, it will decrease the resistance of the wire. If we have a thick wire and this is a thin wire having the equal length, which wire will have the greater obstacles? In which wire the movement of electron is difficult? In this one, the thin wire. It means by decreasing the area of cross section, we can increase the resistance of the wire. So resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. And the other two factors are the nature of material and the fourth one is temperature. By increasing the temperature, the resistance of most of the metals are increases, but the temperature of the alloy, by changing the temperature of the alloys, the resistance do not change. Okay, so these are the factors on which the resistance of the wire depend. Or if we combine these two factors, we get that R is proportional to L upon A, and we can replace the proportional sign by using the constant, that is rho. So we can write it like R is equal to rho L upon A, where rho is the resistivity of the material. The resistivity of the material do not depend on the area of cross section, don't depend on the area of cross section as well as on the length of the wire. It does not depend on these two things. It actually depends on the temperature. It only depends on the temperature. For example, we can write the formula for the rho, like the resistivity. We can write resistivity like this. So the resistivity is equal to R A upon L. Or we can define the resistivity like this. If we take a wire having the length of 1 meter. Okay, we have the wire having the length of 1 meter. As is, suppose the area of cross section is 1 meter square, and this wire having the area of cross section with this 1 meter square. So we can say that rho will be equal to R. If A is 1, L is 1, we will say the resistance of the wire is actually the resistivity of the wire. So we can say that if you are taking the wire having the length 1 meter and having the area cross section 1 meter square, at that temperature the resistance of the wire is called the resistivity of that wire. अगर आप temperature change करते हो, if you are going to change the temperature of the wire that's surrounding, the resistivity will be changed. Otherwise, the resistivity do not depend on the length or the area cross section. It is the important property of the wire. Or by finding the resistivity, we can find the wire. Wire is a conductor, whether it is a insulator or semiconductors. So by finding the value of rho, we can find the conductivity of the wire. Next one, if you change the area cross section, if you are going to change the length of the wire, the resistivity is the basic property which do not change. The resistance of the wire will be changed since you change the length or the area cross section, but the resistivity do not change. And this property we basically use in most of the questions. Like this is the question I think from NCERT book. If we increase the length of the wire by double, you are going to increase the length of the wire and you make it double. Suppose the length of the initial wire which you have is L and having the area cross section is A, and you stretch this wire and increase the length double. Now the new length of the wire is 2L. Is it clear? So how much should be the area will be changed? It should be if you stretch the wire and you make it double from its original length. So what should be the area cross section? What should be the change in the area cross section of the wire? It will be half. We can apply the mathematical formula. Wire is in the shape of cylinder, and we know the formula for the cylinder is pi r square s. This is the volume of the cylindrical portion. Then we can see the volume of the like 5 square is the area. I am writing it right, area A. Okay, area 1. And height is how much? Height is L. So this is the initial volume of the wire. Now you increase the wire by double. It means it will be 2L. So how much the area will be changed? Area will be A1 upon 2. By mathematics, we can easily understand why the area becomes half. So if you increase the length by double, then the area will become half. So we will say that now the new length of the wire is 12 and the area will be A upon 2. If the initial area is A, now the final area will be A upon 2. So if someone asks you then how the resistance of the wire will be changed. So you know the resistivity, the basic property of the material which do not changes on changing the length of the area cross section. So by the first values we can find the resistivity of the wire. What should be the resistivity here? It should be R is equal to rho L upon A. It will be A upon A. This is the resistivity of the wire which we have earlier. Resistivity over here. Now by changing the length, resistivity don't changes. So we can say what should be the new resistance of the wire. It will be rho. The value of rho is RA upon L. Rho into L upon A. What is the length of the wire is now? 12. And area is how much? It is A upon 2. So can you find the new resistance of the wire? It will be, as I can say AC, it will be 4 times the initial one. Is it clear? So resistivity is the basic property of the material. It does not changes on changing the length or the area cross section. It only changes by changing the temperature of the wire. Okay? Clear? Any other doubt? Joule's law of heating. According to Joule's law of heating, the heat produced in a wire. You know why the heat produced in a wire? If you flow the charges through the wire, or since it has some resistance in it, so the electrons which are moving in the wire have to do some work for moving in a wire. And this work actually converts into the heat produced. So by increasing the temperature, by increasing the current, we can increase the heat produced. So according to Joule's law, we can say that the heat produced in a wire is directly proportional to the current flowing through the wire. The square of the current flowing through the wire and is directly proportional to the resistance of the wire. Okay? If we are going to increase the resistance of the wire, then the heat produced will also be increases. And if we increase the time, the heat produced will also increases. आप हीटर चलाते हो थोड़ी देर के, हीटर चलाते ज़्यादा देर के, क्योंकि कब ज़्यादा प्रोड्यूस हो रही है? When we are using the heater for a long time. So it means it depends on the time for which we are using the wire. So we can say the heat produced in a wire is directly proportional to the square of the current flowing through it and the resistance of the wire and the time to which we are flowing the current in the wire. So and we apply and we combine all these formula, it will become actually slightly different to the I square into R into T. And this is the Joule's law. Okay? Any other doubt? Graph? कौन सा? Okay. There is a simple graph for the V and I. So in Ohm's law, we draw the graph like by changing the potential difference. So we can say by changing the current through the wire. I think we don't do the Ohm's law in your practicals. Actually, what we do in our practical, we use a resistance wire here. I am making this bulb like a resistance wire, and this is a battery, and this is a key, and it's also a rheostat. You know the rheostat? I think I explained you. It look like this one. इस तरह का एक cylindrical होता है ये और यहाँ पे एक पॉइंटर होता है जिसमें मूव कर सकता है, और बाय चेंजिंग द पोजीशन ऑफ द पायर दिस पॉइंटर एक्चुअली वी चेंज द रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ द सर्किट, और इफ वी चेंज द रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ द सर्किट द करंट आल्सो चेंजेस। तो आप क्या कर रहे हो कि आप ये देख रहे हो कि जैसे जैसे करंट चेंज हो रहा है पोटेंशियल में क्या चेंज हो रहा है, ठीक है। सो बाय यूजिंग रिहोस्टेट we able to change the current through the wire, and if you draw the the graph for this observation, you will find the graph is like this one. This is a slope, this is a straight line having certain angle in the base. क्यों है? क्योंकि देखो आप कहते हो कि जो B होता है डायरेक्ट प्रोपोर्शनल टू द I. If you are going to increase the current, the potential difference also increases. If you are going to decrease the current, the potential difference also decreases. It means they are directly proportional to each other. And so this is the graph of the potential difference and the current. And according to Ohm's law, we know that it is by time to R. So this is about the graph. I don't know what you want to ask about the graph. What is the question about the graph? Okay, I have some question from the graph, not from this graph. हाँ? क्या पूछना? ग्राफ से रिलेटेड हो? Yes, please. अच्छा. Thank you. For 3 samples of microwire with resistors R1, R2, R2. Choose from the following statement that hold true for this graph. Okay. Which resistance is higher? You have to explain which resistance is higher, है ना? You know R is equal to V upon I. Okay? We are taking V as a common. I am making a horizontal line parallel to the I. Okay. So, yeah, oh, this is the I. Sorry. Actually, in y axis we take I, and in x axis we take the V. So we are taking constant V. Okay. Constant V means this is the constant V. This can be any value. So this is constant for all these 3 resistors. Now, by finding the value, actually by comparing the current through the wire, you can find which resistance is higher and which one is less. Since the V is constant here, if V is constant here, it means R is inversely proportional to the current. The wire which has the higher current should have the low resistance. Is it clear? So since this R3 has the high current, it means it should have the low resistance. And the second one is the R1, and the third one is R2. Is it clear? Option 3. Okay, R3, 1 and 2. 3, 1 and 2. It is D portion, B option. And is it out? Okay, any other doubt from this chapter? No doubt? Yes, I have some doubt. So resistors in parallel. क्या बेटा? Resistors in parallel. Resistors in parallel. You want to derivate it, or what is the problem? Derivation of the parallel combination. हाँ? आपको फॉर्मूला डेरिवेशन करके बताना है कि अप्लाई कैसे करना है, क्या चीज बताना है? डेरिवेशन को बताना है. resistance है, ठीक है? Are you able to see? हाँ? R1, R2 and R2, and we have to find the circuit. For parallel combination, first of all, we should always remember the one important thing. That for the parallel circuit, the potential difference for all the resistors will be same. If we are using V as a potential difference, it means for all these three resistors, the potential difference is same, that is V. Okay? So potential difference for R1 is V, and R2 is V, and R3 is V. This is a very important thing which we should always remember. Now, let the current flowing through this whole circuit is I. This is the current. And since the current will pass through these three resistance wire, it will divide into three parts. So I am writing it like I1, I2 and I3. In parallel, current divided into different parts, but the potential difference remains the same. Okay? So we know that I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Can we find the value of I1 here? According to the Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to I2R, so I will be equal to the V upon R. Right? This is the formula. Okay. So I1 will be equal to the V upon R1. The potential difference of the first resistance is V. So the current I1 will be equal to the V upon R1. And what is the value of I2 here? Joshua? V upon R2. And for the I3? Yes, V upon R3. Okay? If the total resistance of the circuit is R, suppose R is the total resistance of the circuit. Okay? Now we are putting the values of I1, I2 and I3 here. Right? V upon R1 plus V upon R2 plus V upon R2. आपको बस एक चीज ध्यान रखना है, पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस सेम है और करंट डिवाइड हो गया. अब आप क्या करोगे, सिर्फ वैल्यूज पुट कर दो. And what is the total? What is the value of the total current here? It will be V upon R. V is the potential difference and R is the total resistance of the wire. And पूरे circuit का total resistance. Okay? So we can take V as a common. It will be 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R. V will cancel with 3. It will be 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R. For any derivation, first of all, you should write everything which you are using in the derivation. Like, let the three resistors wire having the resistance R1, R2, R3, and they are connected with the battery having the potential difference of V. Let the total current flowing through the circuit is I, and the current in the circuit R1 is I1, R2 is I2, and R3 is I3. And we know that the potential difference of all the resistors will be same. It will be equal to the V. Then we will use this derivation. Clear? Anything now? हाँ प्रियांश. The heating effect of active rate we generally use in our appliances like the electric heater or the oven or the iron. Any other doubt? Seriously, don't have any doubt in our हाँ बेटा. I going to rub this one. This is a circuit. In the given circuit below, the instrument B reads the instrument B reads 0.93. This is instrument A and this is instrument B. What is the name? Anisha. Okay. Anisha, can you tell me what should be the instrument A? and the instrument B should be ammeter. Since we know that ammeter we always combine in the series and multimeter is always combined in the parallel circuits. And the instrument A read 1.80 in their SI units. Okay. The value of unknown resistance will be. So what is the 1.8 here? Anisha? It will be potential plus B. B is equal to 1.8 volt. And what is the B here? What is the 0.93? It is current. I is equal to 0.93. So can we apply the Ohm's law? So what is the formula for finding the R? R is equal to V upon I. So can we find it? Any doubt? Yes, why not? You don't have any doubt now. Okay, I have a doubt. The first question is, this is the graph. Harshad, this graph is for you. We always represent the potential difference at the x-axis and current at the y-axis. मैंने पिछले बार में थोड़ा उल्टा बना दिया, इसको करेक्ट कर लेना. We always represent B on the x-axis and I on the y-axis, and these are two graphs here. Which graph show the series and which graph show the parallel combination? Harshad. Show the series combination and which one shows the parallel combination? A and B. Now you are going to answer me, then close your books. Yeah, not to open your books now. Which one is series? A. Why A series? क्या आपको लग रहा है करंट ज्यादा है तो हम कम करते हैं. लो अब तो कम सा लग रहा है, इसको बढ़ा. चलो अब बताओ which one is series and which one is parallel. पूरा प्रॉपर एक्सप्लेनेशन देना मुझे. अब तो लग रहा है ए में कम है करंट, तो बी में ज्यादा लग रहा है. अब बताओ ए सीरीज में है, क्यों है बताइए आप. Why A is in series? Yes. This is a very important thing, है ना. अगर आपको एक चीज ना कांस्टेंट लेनी चाहिए. जब कभी आप ग्राफ स्टडी कर रहे हो, प्रैक्टिस ट्रैक में ग्राफ मिला है, तो एक चीज को कांस्टेंट कर दो. हमें पता है B is equal to I into R, और हमें पता है कि सीरीज का रेजिस्टेंस ज्यादा होता है. रेजिस्टेंस इन सीरीज इज ग्रेटर देन द रेजिस्टेंस इन पैरेलल. So it means which will have the greater resistance will be in series. So we are taking V as a constant. Suppose we are taking V as a constant, so the value which having the current higher will have the low resistance. So we are taking the V as a constant here like this. अब इसका करंट ज्यादा, इसका होता है उसका रेजिस्टेंस कम होगा, और जिसका रेजिस्टेंस कम होता है वो किसमें होता है बेटा जी? पैरेलल होता है. आपने किसे बताया ये को? हाँ, होगी गड़बड़? क्यों जी? ओके. तो अगर आप कांस्टेंट कर रहे हो तो ध्यान रखो जिसमें करंट ज्यादा उसका रेजिस्टेंस कम, और अगर आप सीरीज पैरेलल की बात करते हो तो पैरेलल रेजिस्टेंस कम होता है, सीरीज का रेजिस्टेंस ज्यादा होता है. Yeah. One more question of the graph. And again, you have to explain the answer. ठीक है? अगर सोच समझ के आंसर करो, तुक्का नहीं लगाना. This is the question. I and B, T1 and T2. I am reading the question. The current I and voltage V of the graph for the given metallic wire at two different temperatures T1 and T2 are shown. Okay. T1 is greater than T2 or T2 is greater than T1. You have to tell me which temperature is higher, either T1 or T2. With explanation. Don't give the answer. You have to explain which one is greater temperature, T1 or T2. With proper explanation. As I explained, T1 is greater than T2. Yeah, it is. Seriously, it is true. T1 is greater than T2. But we should know why. As you said that if we take V as a constant, so we know that the temperature which is higher current should be higher. Yeah, it is correct. But according to the formula, we know that H is equal to I square into R into T. Or if we apply the formula, then we know that the heat produced depends on the current as well as the resistance. So this wire should have the low resistance since its current is higher and should have the high resistance. So how can we apply this formula? Actually, if we are using this formula for heat produced, we are not able to explain why this type T1 is greater. We have to change this formula. We have to change the resistance according to our need. We want to take V as a constant. So convert this R into the form of V. We know that R is equal to V upon I. Okay? We can cancel out I with the cycle. Then the formula is V into I into T. Since V is constant for both the temperatures. Now which temperature, which wire has the high current should have the higher temperature. And according to this formula, since V is constant for both the values, दोनों के लिए V तो constant है ना आपने. अब ये तो constant है, अब सीधी बात है जिसका I ज़्यादा उसका heat produce ज़्यादा. So this wire having temperature T1, since having the higher current, so the heat produce will be greater in the T1. Good thing, very good. Next question is, simple diagram. Simple diagram. Should I make the simple or the typical diagram? Anything? Also, it's so easy. नहीं इस वक्त ग्राफ ही हो गया ग्राफ खत्म हो गया. Very easy question. सुबह को क्या है? चलो good. 2, 4. I will take it like 4 या 8 ले लेते. 8 and the potential difference is how much? Short negative 24. Okay. First, how can you find the total resistance of the wire? Total resistance? Okay. These are in parallel. This one is series. Okay, good. And the total current? Is equal to I. We know the value of total resistance. We know the value of the voltage. We can find the current. Okay. Then how can we find the what is the resistance of 4 ohm resistance wire?
What is the resistance?
time is over. But just tell me, how can you find the potential difference of 4 ohm resistors? V is equal to I here. If you are applying the V is equal to I here, then what is the I for here for this 4 ohm resistance wire? Do you know the value of I for here for this one? You know only the resistors. What can you do? Okay. Or this is a very simple question for you in your homework. Okay. In next lecture, in next period, we will also. But I निकल जाएगा. Do you know the value of D for the 4 ohm resistance? You don't know the value of D for this. पैरेलल में ये दोनों बेटा इन दोनों के साथ ये तो सीरीज में है. ये 24 तो बढ़ गया दोनों में. So are there four? Yes. But the 24 voltage is both for this one and this one. Says those two combinations are in series with each other. So this 24 volt will divide in this one and this one. So you can't take V as 24 volt. This is for the whole circuit. Okay, we will continue this chapter in the next lecture. Okay, just prepare for this chapter. And your doubts.